let's try some improv. Let's try just shooting from the hip, and let's see if we can make it turn out to where it's kind of like got a theme to it, or maybe not a theme to it, but a like a topic to it, and keep it on that basic topic. Set the timer for 15 minutes. It's always a marker to go by because you never want to be talking for like 1 hour, 2 hours. I mean, unless you just want to talk for 2 hours or 3 hours or four. It's a bit exhaustive. Okay, timer set for 15 minutes. Oh, you want to know about what this is? It's Ikechita and Inipi, and I probably didn't say that right. I should know some Lakota better than what I do, but I really don't. But anyways, now that's a Veterans Sweat Lodge, Veterans Purification Ceremony. And the story behind that is, believe it or not, with the United States military branches of defense, Warrior Society, Navy, Army, Marines, Air Force, all that. Throughout the years, on all the bases and stuff like that, they've allowed so much different, they've honored the freedom of religion. So there's been so many different kinds of religions opened up on bases all over the United States and abroad. Even, I think even a satanic sect, basically not a satanic church, but what's it called? An atheist believers. Yeah, satanic. That's what that is, basically. I do believe that was even allowed on a base, but never before has any type of Native American spirituality, aka Native American indigenous religion, been allowed to set up shop on any, has never been recognized as a true religion, except for, voila, these people that got her done. Yeah, Fort Carson. This making history, literally the very first Native American church, religion, spirituality shop, whatever, Fort Carson, the very first little plot of land set up for that in history. So that's what this sweatshirt is. Ikichita Inepu. And like I said, I'm probably mutilating that. It's a miracle I can even speak English. But I'm Cherokee. But anyways, the case in point is it's a sweatshirt. It's a nice sweatshirt. And I wear it with pride. I'm not even Lakota. But I know a little bit about the Lakota and the Lakota bloodlines and what they've gone through and what they've been through. And I know a little bit about their history and their culture and their way of the sweat lodge and the purification ceremonies. just as I know a little bit about the Cherokee and a little bit about the Cherokee culture and the Cherokee ceremonies and the Cherokees' beliefs and their stories and the Trail of Tears and the genocide after the Civil War. And I know about Andrew Jackson, the president. The Cherokee people saved his life. They saved him. And then after that, all that land that the Cherokees had was prime real estate for cotton. So he had the Cherokees removed. It's like, hell, since we're already breaking a bunch of eggs to make an omelet, let's make it all in our favor. Let's move their asses off their land. Let's break all these treaties and then re-break them again. Anyways, make a long story short, since we're going into this off-the-wall little history thing, I guess, here's some new history. 2012, 2013, when Obama left office, he signed off on so many things that reopened so many treaties. As far as I know, you know how many broken treaties he signed off on to be reinvestigated, to be cases to be reopened? All of them. Do you know how many treaties that were made and broken with so many different tribes throughout the United States after the Civil War? It's so crazy. The North, or we should say the Union, Andrew Jackson, all them, and Grant, their main general, you know, they were supposed to be all about freedom and everything, and about rights and equality and all that stuff and everything. Well, after the Civil War, and even years after the Civil War, they kept all their slaves. Not only that, it's like they let their boys stay down in the South and in the Midwest, just pillaging, breaking all the laws, getting away with everything and anything. And then they're breaking all those laws, those treaties and everything, not honoring none of that. And then this Mickey Mouse horse bullshit went on for the next 100 years almost. And then there's that spot in between this last 100 years where we just sweep it all under the carpet as best as possible. Erase it from the history books, erase it from people's minds, erase the language from the indigenous peoples, which I honestly believe big change is absolutely necessary. And I believe it's right and proper. However, do I believe strong-arming people, ripping people off just because a tribe is weaker than you, so they got something you want, so you're not even going to make a deal with them, you're just going to take it? It's kind of animalistic, but okay, yeah, we'll accept that. Humans do have an animalistic side to us. We all do. I do, you do, we all do. It's almost like we're a hybrid species on this planet. If we were truly different from the animals, and we were truly human, as we say, we wouldn't be killing each other for a bunch of stuff. Not in the manners like that. Anyways, and I would like to go ahead and say in defense of the North, even though I wasn't and am still not pro-slavery, nor I'm not for it nor against it. I'm neutral. I'm not for the slave master nor against the slave master. I'm not for the slave or against the slave. But I know one thing. There's a lot of deals up in the air right now. Big ones. Really huge ones. Massive, massive, monumental real estate deals underway. And you know what really pisses me off? This is what pisses me off. I do not think it is right and proper for one generation to pay for the bullshit of their previous ancestors' bullshit. That is, unless they knew without a shadow of a doubt that that's what they were doing, that they were accepting a shady deal, and they accepted it anyway. But as for any land owners, whether industrial, residential, commercial lands, whatever they may be, say the ones in power of them in the previous generations, say those lands legally did not belong to them after the Civil War. Treaties that were made and signed by the presidents, but they were never honored. That's straight up thievery. It's like if they were so about law, justice, equality, and protecting the peoples. See, the crazy thing is, people know about the Trail of Tears with the Cherokees being marched off of their lands. But what they don't know is the fact that all those lands the Cherokee people lived on were prime real estate for massive industrial farms. And the northern people wanted that. And they got it. Do I think those treaties should be honored, even though it's been a couple hundred years since those shady deals went down like that? The answer to that is not in any way that would start a war. No, I honestly believe when it comes to deals like that, I think they should be reconciled in some form or fashion. And the reconciliation of those things are more important now with the way the bases are loaded and the transitions we're going through right now are more important than ever before in the history of these past 200 years. It is by far more important. It is critical. It's like we're at a tipping point. It's like we can tip one direction or we can tip the other direction. It's like we don't want to see a repeat of what our ancestors did to one another. We don't want to see that. No one wants to see that. No one wants to do that. Although I can say one thing that I do know for sure. Knowing the history of this, America is a people, is a land of preppers. We got so many preppers all the way up and down, north, south, east, west, all up and down the company line. My God. They've been prepping. Long time, generation after generation. Anyways, All I know is my hope is the only thing I hold on to in the Bible. And this is the only thing that I hold on to in the Bible. And it is this: the revelation, the prophecy that the world will beat the weapons into plowshares and the world will know war no more. That's the only thing I hold on to in the Bible. That's the place where I hope we're at. That's the place where I honestly believe we're at. And the reason I believe that is because we got the AI machines, the artificial intelligence. We got artificial general intelligence going on. And the ASI, artificial super intelligence, is what people are hoping for. And these things, they can help us solve things where normally we couldn't, because it can hold things in place that our brains normally can't hack, that our emotions can't hack, where people snap, where people get manipulated, where people have herd mentality, where people have chaos mentality, and all that. The machines, the artificial intelligence machines, can be used to overcome these hurdles, these places where all the, how should I say it? All the places that are dry and all it takes is a spark for them to go up in flames, all that, those places can be avoided by being dealt with little by little here and there. And that can be done through the use of the artificial intelligence. Region by region, area by area, state by state. It can all be dismantled and built up piece by piece. And I'm not talking about the lands or the structure of the lands. I'm talking about our minds. It's in our minds. It's in our perceptions of what we're looking at. It's the frame that we're looking through. It's the way we're looking at it. That is what's going to save us. That's going to be our saving grace. We're coming up on this really funky place. And this funky place is a place in human evolution. The site. I don't even know how to say this shit. Damn. We're evolved to a place where we can damn near eliminate hierarchies. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about eliminating competence. See, competence is different. When somebody is competent in their field of study or whatever they got going on or whatever they specialize in, that has got to be honored as such. That will always be there. I don't care if we have alien technology. I mean, I don't care if it's 5,000 years from now and we're just a super race. There's still going to be that competence factor, period. Even if it's a oneness, it's still going to be a competence factor. I'm not talking about that. No, I'm talking about a tyrannical hierarchy is what I'm talking about. And even not even then, back it down and tame it down to just simple hierarchy of power, physical power, psychological power, emotional power. I think that those lines are going to change in a certain way. And the reason I say that is because they won't technically change, but it's like our perception of it will change. And the reason I say that is because so many jobs are being taken out by the robotics and the artificial intelligence. See, once it gets to a certain place, it's like we're going to be left to do basically one kind of job: creative jobs, innovation, dream jobs, vision jobs. That'll be our only jobs. And of course, keeping ourselves healthy and keeping our heart, mind, and body right and proper. But as for the machines, I think that it's coming up so quickly. It's just unbelievable. It's just tripping me out. That's where I think it's at right now. And And I think if we look at it through the right lens, like what we was talking about earlier, like after the Civil War with Andrew Jackson and all that, those broken treaties with all that real estate. See, if we look at it through the lens of fault finding, blaming, and revenge, we'll do nothing more than repeat the cycle again, and the shit will continue, and we'd just make a big shit storm, and nothing will get resolved. Oh, it might get resolved, but it'd be in such an ugly way. None of us wants that. I don't want that. Nobody I know wants that. And the people I know in the Veterans Sweat Lodge of all nationalities, because all nationalities, Marines mainly is the ones I know, Air Force, Marines, Air Force, some Army. You know that they'll do war. Yeah, they'll do it. But none of us wants it. Even if it is a worthy, so-called worthy cause. But of course, you know what the miraculous thing about the machine. Here's the cool thing about artificial intelligence. Like normally, like to be creative and just draw things out of your mind or get a bunch of people together, you basically get pen and pad and just start throwing out ideas and get a bunch of ideas together. And then since the dawn of the internet, it's like we can collect all that data and filter it down and even branch off into more questions. Because when it comes down to it, it's asking the right questions to find the right stuff. Anyways, I think we're going to hit some bumps in the road because there is going to be people that are going to be, they're power hungry, they're manipulators, and I think they'll do that because they don't have patience, they don't have strong imaginations, they're more into the flesh than into intuition and introspection. I think those are the ones that lack discipline. Those are the ones that are dangerous. But I don't think it'll be a big mess. I really don't. I think it'll look real scary as we come up to each hurdle. It'll look real scary as we approach it. And then bam, it's like the problem will just like dissolve as we approach it and get right up to it. Because in life, sometimes that's how things happen. It's like looking at it from a distance is just scary as hell. And then as you approach it, it's almost like the problem itself falls apart the closer you get to it. And then once you get all the way up to it, it's like it ain't even a problem at all. And that's what I'm hoping will happen at the dawn of this new industrial age, so to speak, but it's not an industrial age. It's a transfer of work types. And yes, there will still be jobs. There will still be people at the helm, captaining the ship, aka people are still going to be using products. We still like stuff. I mean, like everything I'm wearing, if you think about all the hands that went into what made these pants, these socks, this underwear, this hoodie, this hat, these glasses, these fake teeth. So many people had their hand in it just so I could sit here comfortable in this. And it's still going to be the same thing. The only difference is so many jobs will be eliminated, and that's going to free up a lot of people's time. And that's where they're going to have to get creative on using their time in healthy manners or in creative ways that finds new ways of even more invention. New ways of conducting business. Real estate. It's fascinating. It's freaking fascinating. It's fascinating. Do you know real estate does not go up in value? So many people, I don't know why, but the majority of people think all real estate goes up in value with time. No, no, it doesn't. There's a lot of real estate out there that's going down, 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 down. Pennies on the dollar down. Yeah, these are crazy times we're living in. This constant quest for equality, peace, justice, the republic in which I stand. You know, when I was a little kid, it's like we would recite that thing to the flag every morning. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the United States of America and to the people and to the republic. And I can't even remember what all it was. But we did that. And we had that respect. And respect that we could upkeep justice and upkeep equality and to be decent human beings, to where we weren't ripping each other off and killing each other for what each other had and all that stuff, to where we could do fair, where it was fair game. It was all predicated on the new ways of fighting, the new ways of warring, and that was all mind games, which is pretty cool. I mean, it can suck pretty bad though, depending on what you're getting caught up in. But at least we're not killing each other for what each other has. We're not stealing from each other from what each other has. It's all like a game of chess of the mind. I think that is basically what we were trying to build after the Civil War. What we've all agreed is like, we the people, what we all came to agreement, whether there was treaties broken or not, or whatever, or whatever, or whatever. The basic principle was we all wanted to live decent lives, have our families, have a little place to call our own, and be decent people and walk amongst each other and go wherever we want as long as we're not killing and stealing. Basic principle, case in point. And you know what? That's what the majority of people still want. The majority of the people are good people, period. But some odd reason, the few bad guys and bad girls that are out there just magnifies it and makes it look like there's just billions and billions of them, when it's not. Most people are decent, good-hearted people. Period. So we got the odds tipped in our favor to make the things work out in a right and proper way, whatever that means. Whatever that means. You know what I kind of hope for? When all these land dealings start really coming down, I mean, like bam, 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 and all these treaties are all up on the table all at once in a real quick manner. This is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we can all stalemate each other or something like that, but in a stalemate to where it's like we all lose, but yet we all win at the same time somehow. And I have no idea what that is. The only thing that I do know for an absolute fact the goal is to keep the peace, to keep the justice. That's the goal, period. Every day. That's why we have the right to bear arms. If you look at our constitutional rights, our forefathers, when they wrote the constitutional rights, they were just on another level. That stuff is, I still love that stuff. It's just so perfect. It's so perfect. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's perfect. It's hard to achieve perfect in anything in this world, but our constitutional rights are spot on, and we base everything we do off of that, and have been, or we should be. Dang, it's 31 minutes and 23 seconds into this. It's getting a little bit windy. A lot of air going through the lungs today, I guess. So that's a little bit of happy crash course history there of the United States. I didn't really I was going to go into that. I was kind of hoping we'd talk about a little something else, but apparently I'm not controlling my mouth today. So anyways, that's the video for today. I have no idea what I'm going to entitle it, or put a tag to it, whatever. Anyways, Shazam. It is really trippy out here. Really trippy these days. Damn. It's really exciting being alive at this point in time. God. Only if our ancestors could see what we're stepping up into. They're probably on the other side of life and death in the spirit realm. They're probably like, oh man, you guys can make it heaven on earth, or you're going to make it really bad. There's not going to be a lot of in between here. So be awake every day. Anyways, that's all I got to share tonight. Have a good one. See you in the funny papers.